Welcome, dear friends. Today, we gather in the spirit of exploration to uncover a profound truth that lies at the heart of our spiritual journey. As we walk this path together, we must recognize that the terrain of the spirit is vast, and while many treasures are to be discovered, there is one element that stands as the cornerstone of our quest. This element is awareness. Awareness is the light that illuminates our path. It is through awareness that we begin to understand the nuances of our thoughts, the emotions that swell within us, and the silent whispers of our deeper self. But what is awareness in its truest form? It is the conscious presence that observes without judgment, the gentle acknowledgement of what is, without the need to change it. In our daily lives, we often rush through our experiences, chasing after desires or fleeing from fears. We rarely pause to simply be with what is happening within and around us. Yet, it is in this pause, this space of awareness, that we find the clarity to see our true nature and the nature of reality itself. Let us consider the nature of thought. Thoughts are like the surface waves of an ocean, constantly in motion, sometimes calm, and at other times turbulent. But beneath these waves lies a depth of stillness, vast and untroubled. Awareness is the bridge that takes us from the surface to these profound depths. When we observe our thoughts without attachment, we give ourselves the freedom to choose which thoughts we wish to empower and which we will let pass like leaves on a river. Now, think about the emotions that color our lives. Emotions can be intense, often dictating our actions and reactions. However, when we embrace awareness, we give ourselves permission to feel these emotions fully while also understanding that we are not defined by them. We become like the sky, vast and open, where emotions are merely clouds passing by, ever-changing. Awareness also asks us to be present with our physical sensations, to truly inhabit our bodies. We often take for granted the miracle of the body's wisdom. By bringing awareness to bodily sensations, we connect more deeply with our intuitive self, which often communicates through the subtle language of the body. Have you noticed how your body responds in moments of stress or joy? This is the body speaking, and awareness is how we listen. But awareness extends beyond the self. It invites us to witness the dance of life around us, to see the interplay of light and shadow in the world. With awareness, we become attuned to the life in everything: the rustling of leaves, the bustling of cities, the quiet breathing of a sleeping child. This attuneness fosters a profound connection with all beings, a realization that we are part of a grander whole. As we cultivate awareness, we find that our perception of time changes. The past and the future lose their grip on us as we learn to anchor ourselves in the now. It is only in the present moment that we can take action, make choices, and truly live. The past is a memory, the future a dream, and awareness is the key that unlocks the fullness of the present. But how do we cultivate such awareness? It begins with intention. We must set the intention to be present with every facet of our experience. It requires practice, like any skill, and meditation is a powerful tool in this practice. Meditation is not about emptying the mind, but about becoming a witness to its workings. It trains us to bring that same quality of observance to all aspects of our lives. The journey of awareness also involves embracing simplicity. In a world that often equates value with complexity, we sometimes forget the power of simplicity. Simplicity allows us to strip away the non-essential, to make space for the essential. By simplifying our lives, we reduce the noise that distracts us from the silent truth within. Furthermore, awareness is nourished by gratitude. When we approach life with a grateful heart, we open ourselves to the beauty that surrounds us, even in the midst of challenges. gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking to the abundance that is already present. And in this shift, we find that our capacity for joy and love expands. Now let us turn to the question of purpose. We often seek our purpose as if it were a treasure buried far away, requiring a map to uncover. But what if our purpose was not a destination but a way of traveling? Awareness transforms our search for purpose into a living expression of purpose. When we are aware, every action becomes purposeful, every interaction meaningful. So, as we proceed on our spiritual journey, let us carry with us the light of awareness, knowing that it is not a goal to be reached, but a companion on the road. It is the most important thing in our spiritual journey because it is the journey itself. Let us pause here for a moment, and I invite you to inquire within. In what ways can you invite more awareness into your life starting today? Reflect on this as we prepare to explore the second essential lesson of our spiritual voyage, the alchemy of transformation. Embracing the shadow to unveil the light. In this second part of our spiritual exploration, we delve into the transformative power of embracing our shadow. The shadow is a concept first introduced by the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, referring to the aspects of ourselves that we choose to reject or ignore. It holds our fears, our wounds, and our denied traits. However, the journey of spiritual growth demands that we face these hidden parts of ourselves, for in the shadow lies the key to our liberation and wholeness. The process of engaging with our shadow is not about casting light to banish the darkness, but rather about bringing light to acknowledge and understand it. It is through this understanding that we transmute our pain into wisdom and our fear into courage. The shadow, once confronted, loses its power to control us from the unseen corners of our psyche. Consider for a moment the traits in others that trigger a strong, often negative reaction in you. These are mirrors reflecting parts of your shadow back at you. The qualities we most vehemently reject in others are frequently the ones we cannot accept in ourselves. By observing these reactions with curiosity rather than judgment, we begin to reclaim the disowned parts of our being. Transformation through the shadow also asks us to heal our wounds. We all carry scars from our past experiences, and these wounds can unconsciously shape our lives. Yet, these same wounds are also sources of strength when healed. Each scar tells a story of survival and resilience. By tending to our wounds with compassion, we allow healing to occur, and through healing, we access deeper wisdom. The shadow also contains our unexpressed potential. Just as a seed needs the darkness of the soil to germinate, our latent talents and abilities often lie dormant in the shadow. By bringing awareness to the shadow, we create an environment for these seeds to sprout and flourish. Think of a time when a challenge prompted you to discover a strength you didn't know you had. That strength was always there, waiting in the shadow for its moment to emerge. Engaging with the shadow is not a task for the faint-hearted. It requires courage, for it is a path lined with the unknown. Yet it is in the acceptance of our full self, shadow and all, that we find true freedom. We are no longer fragmented, hiding parts of ourselves from the world and from our own consciousness. Instead, we step into a state of integration, a state where every aspect of our being is acknowledged and honored. The work of shadow integration is ongoing, for as we grow and evolve, new layers of the shadow reveal themselves. It is not a linear process, but a spiral journey that deepens with each turn. And as we embrace our shadow, we become more authentic, for we are no longer presenting a curated version of ourselves to the world. We are showing up as we truly are, and in doing so, we give others permission to do the same. But how do we go about this process of shadow work? It starts with the willingness to look within and to ask the difficult questions. It continues with the practice of self-reflection, perhaps through journaling or art, where we give voice to the silent parts of ourselves. It is supported by creating a safe space, internally and externally, where our vulnerabilities can be expressed without fear. We must also cultivate forgiveness, both for ourselves and for others. Forgiveness is the balm that heals the wounds within our shadow. It is an act of liberation that releases us from the chains of the past. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harm. It means choosing to no longer carry the weight of anger and resentment. As we journey through the landscape of our inner world, confronting the shadows that we find, we unlock the doors to greater self-awareness and self-love. We begin to recognize that our perceived flaws and imperfections are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth and self-discovery. And so, I invite you to consider, what parts of yourself have you been turning away from? What might you discover if you were to meet these parts with openness and curiosity? Allow these questions to percolate within your heart as we conclude this segment of our spiritual discourse. Embracing our shadow is an essential passage on the path of spiritual awakening. It is the alchemy of transformation that turns the lead of our fears into the gold of our enlightened self. The tapestry of connection, weaving love into the fabric of reality. In the heart of our spiritual odyssey, we reach an epiphany of interconnectedness, perceiving ourselves as integral to a greater tapestry of existence, bound by love. This universal love transcends mere affection, embodying an unconditional, boundless compassion that recognizes the divine spark in all. To harness this love, we must first foster self-love, a respectful acknowledgement of our innate value, which then extends outward, affirming the dignity and joy of others. This self-love is not self-indulgence, but a profound acceptance that serves as the bedrock for our relationships. It enables us to see beyond ourselves, to understand how our actions ripple across the web of life, prompting us to act with deliberate kindness. Love is transformative, dissolving barriers, healing wounds, and counteracting fear. It is an active, not passive, force that inspires us to fight for justice, speak for the voiceless, and cherish our planet and its creatures. Living as beacons of love, we attract similar energies, creating a cycle of giving and receiving love that nourishes our spirits. Our daily interactions become opportunities to practice kindness, each small gesture contributing to a collective upliftment. Love, however, also teaches us to release our grip, to allow others the freedom to be themselves, trusting in the strength of love to maintain connections. In the silence and stillness between life's beats, we digest the love we've nurtured, allowing it to infuse our being, permeating our actions and essence. Reflect on how love flows through your life, considering how you might channel this sacred force more fully. Love is the vibrant thread in our spiritual fabric, a unifying, healing, and elevating power. As we advance toward the culmination of our spiritual reflection, let this warmth and light of love guide us, embracing its potential to reshape ourselves and the world. The Luminous Summit, ascending to the pinnacle of spiritual consciousness. In this final chapter of our spiritual saga, we stand at the threshold of a profound awakening. The culmination of our journey is akin to reaching the luminous summit of a great mountain, a place where the air is clear, the horizon vast, and the sense of accomplishment profound. Here, at the pinnacle of spiritual consciousness, we come to understand the deepest truths of our existence. The ascent to this summit has been an arduous climb, marked by self-discovery, the embracing of our shadow, and the weaving of love into the very fabric of our being. With each step, we have shed the weight of our limitations, rising above the clouds of doubt and fear. And now, as we gaze out from this elevated perspective, we recognize the unity of all things. This unity is not merely a concept, but a lived reality. We see that we are not just connected to each other, but are expressions of a single, divine consciousness. Our individuality is precious, but it is also a wave on the vast ocean of existence, unique and yet inseparable from the whole. This realization brings with it a profound peace, the peace that comes from knowing one's place in the cosmos. The summit of spiritual consciousness is not a place of escape from the world. On the contrary, it is a vantage point from which we can engage with the world more fully, more compassionately, and with greater wisdom. From this height, we see the interplay of life with a clarity that inspires both awe and action. We become agents of change, empowered by our understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. It is from this place that we can truly grasp the meaning of service. Service is the natural expression of an awakened heart. When we recognize ourselves in others, serving them becomes serving ourselves. We act not for praise or reward, but from the pure joy of contributing to the well-being of the whole. Each act of kindness, each gesture of compassion, each work of justice becomes a celebration of our shared being. In this state of heightened awareness, gratitude flows effortlessly. We find ourselves grateful for the beauty of life, for the lessons of our struggles, and for the love that has sustained us. Gratitude becomes a way of life, a constant acknowledgement of the abundance that surrounds us. It is the song of the soul that has come home to its eternal truth. The luminous summit also offers us a new understanding of freedom. True freedom is not the ability to do whatever we want, but the liberation from the desires and aversions that once dictated our actions. It is freedom from the ego's grip, a release into the flow of life where our actions are guided by a higher intelligence. We become instruments of a greater purpose, aligned with the movements of a cosmic dance. As we stand on this summit, we recognize that the journey never truly ends. Spiritual growth is an eternal process, a perpetual unfolding of being. There will be more mountains to climb, more horizons to explore, yet the essence of what we have attained here will never be lost. The insights, the love, the peace, they are now an indelible part of who we are. And so, my fellow travelers, as we prepare to descend from the luminous summit, let us carry with us the light of awareness that we have kindled here. Let us share this light with all whom we meet, spreading the warmth of our spiritual fire across the world. Remember that each step on the path is sacred, each moment an opportunity to live more deeply, love more openly, and serve more joyfully. The summit may be a metaphor, but the transformation it represents is real and within reach. As we conclude this journey, I leave you with an invitation to continue your ascent, to live with the summit's perspective, and to find in every day a step toward greater spiritual consciousness. Let us walk forward together with hearts wide open, eyes lifted to the sky, and spirits soaring on the wings of the infinite. For in truth, we are not just climbing a mountain, we are the mountain, reaching ever upwards, expanding into the vastness of our own potential. May peace, love, and light be your guides, and may you live every day as a testament to the truth you have found. Onward, upward, and inward we go into the endless journey of the soul.